Well, how y'all doing tonight? Hope y'all having a blessed night. And I am making some homemade potato salad. Now, I made another video of how my mother and my grandmother, my very, very Irish grandmother, prepared potatoes differently for potato salad than she did for mashed potatoes. I wish you could smell these. They have such a strong smell of potato to them. It is so different. I am using russet. You can use red and leave some of the skin on it even if you want. We always called that red bliss potato salad. So I got my potatoes in here, and what you want to do is you want to cut them potatoes up. Get that started, all right? And I've had people say, why don't you just, put the measurements and everything in the description. I did that when I was a teenager. As I got older, I found that a good cook eyeballs a recipe. You might like a little bit more of something, a little bit less of something. You might want to omit something altogether. This is my recipe. Okay, so you cut up your potatoes like that. I don't add salt to anything. Almost every ingredient I got over here has got a copious amount of salt in it already. I'm going to put some black pepper in there. I like black pepper. Like, use less, use more. Fry you some bacon. Break that up into little pieces. You don't want it crispy, but you want it cooked. I'm using thick applewood smoked bacon. I think the thick fries up better. You do not want this crispy, but you do want it cooked. And I'm going to put all that in there, even the grease. Right? Don't want to waste that. All right, you got to be careful with your onions. It's best to use a sweet onion. If it's sweet, chop it. If it's a real strong onion, mince it down smaller and use it sparingly because it will overpower your potato salad. All right, so I'm using also dill pickle. I got chopped dill pickle here. I guess they don't call them pickles no more. You just get everything ready ahead of time, and you might have to use less, you might have to use more. It all depends on what your potatoes are going to look like when you get them all cut up. I just want to make sure I get all these onions in here. I didn't really cut up a lot, but I don't want to overpower it either. All right. I might add some more. So you eyeball it. And even if I stir it up and it looks like it needs more, I'm going to put it in there. I don't want to put all these ingredients into a processor. Yeah, you could throw the pickles in there and the onions in there and just mince them all up. But then the flavor's going to blend together and become one flavor. If you chop up your ingredients and keep them separate, then your flavors are going to stay separate. Yes, they will blend to some extent, but they're still going to stay separate. All right, so I'm going to put a couple spoonfuls of sweet pickle relish in there too. This is going to be like a sweet, tart, smoky, oniony goodness. All right. Now I'm going to put some eggs in there. And again, I'm going to chop up these eggs. The more you stir it, the more it's going to break up. Now, I'd rather have my potato salad more like a mashed potato salad than to get a potato salad that has a half raw potato in it. I never buy potato salad out in the stores because it's like the potatoes are not cooked all the way, and that is absolutely not good for your stomach. So I'm just gonna keep chopping, right? And I'm stirring and chopping. And I want to cut them eggs up. into smaller pieces. And I'm going to mix that up and keep chopping. Now, this is really good at events and stuff, and especially around the holidays. You got a lot of green in here. If you're doing something at Christmas, you might want to put just a little bit of minced pimento in there, and it's going to give it a real Christmassy look. What am I doing over there? Give them a real Christmassy look, because you got all that green and red in there, and it really ain't going to affect the flavor in it. So I'm just going to keep chopping that. All right, give me a minute. All right, so what I've done is I just kept putting this knife through here like this and turning it, scooping it up from the bottom, turning the pot, and I'm just looking for big chunks of potato. I don't want any real big, what am I doing over there? Big chunks of potato in there. You don't want that, because then you'll be eating potato salad and all of a sudden you're eating a potato and it's different. I've done add some more black pepper in there. All right, so your next ingredient is some mustard, yellow mustard. Add you some yellow mustard to that. Not a whole lot, a little bit. You know what's good too? And I usually put a couple, 3 tablespoons of it in here, and I don't have any, is the coarse ground spicy mustard. Then add yourself mayonnaise, and add that slowly, because you don't want to overdo it with the mayonnaise. So I would say about 3 heaping tablespoons to begin with, and go from there. I think with this batch I'm gonna add 4 right off. Now at this point you want to start stirring with a spoon or maybe a fork, and then in with a spoon, because you want it all blended together real nice. All right, so there it is. You do not want to start this without having a copious amount of mayonnaise, for sure. And I added more mayonnaise, more mustard, more sweet pickle relish, more black pepper, and you got to make sure you're stirring it. You are constantly stirring this to mix it up. You don't want any large chunks of potatoes in there. It really made a world of difference preparing the potatoes the way that I did. I showed in another video. I can get a very strong taste of potato. When you peel them and boil them, you seem to lose a lot of the flavor. Okay, so if you want to get fancy, now when my mother made this and was taken somewhere, she would slice a couple of the boiled eggs and put them on top and arrange them. And she'd put paprika on them. I'm going to put paprika on top of this. I like the smoked paprika, so I'm going to just spread that around on there a little bit. Kind of like you would a deviled egg. It smells so good. I've done, take some out and sample it as you're making it. And you'll know if it needs more of this or if it needs more of that by the flavor of it. And it's good just the way it is. I'm about to have me some. Right? Again, if you want to get festive, put you some minced pimentos in there. Maybe a couple tablespoons. Depends on how much you're making. And then put it in the fridge and let it sit. The longer it sits, the better it's going to taste. And that's all she wrote for the potato salad. Y'all have a blessed night. Thank you so much for your thumbs up, for your comments, big or small. I appreciate them all. Y'all have a blessed night. Bye-bye.